Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. So today I'm working on the Landgraab mansion. So I initially was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do this, like this is gonna be so much work. But I decided to finally go for it. So I built the exterior of it off camera. It took me like an hour and a half to figure out, and the layout's still really weird. I'm not used to building such big like houses, so the layout's still really weird. It's definitely a unique house. I'm not used to building mansions, so this is very new for me. But I was having the hardest time like picking doors, figuring out how to furnish the interior, and altogether I think this build took me like 5 hours, if not longer than that, to complete, because I did this in 2 days. So I did the exterior, and then I started furnishing it, which is the video that the beginning part of the video that you're watching, and then I took a break, and then the following day I continued to furnish it. It took me a really long time to figure out doors. I usually use medium wall height. I'm not a big fan of short wall height on most builds, but I did tall wall height because it fit the structure better. But finding doors for it was really hard for me. All I knew was that I really wanted a like super plain and boring house. Like, it's luxurious, it's supposed to be luxurious, but like there's not a single drop of color in like anywhere in this house other than Malcolm's room, and that's how I wanted it to look. Like all hardwood floor and like some marble. Initially you'll see me going with like all marble floor, and then I decided I wanted to change the vibe a little bit, and I ended up only putting marble in the bathrooms and in the kitchen, I think. But it was a long process. This is a very different build for me. When I do mansions, usually they're all very earthy toned, because that's, you know, what I prefer. But this one was very hard to furnish because I didn't want to make anything too eccentric. So I had a hard time picking a lot of the paintings and stuff for this house also. It was a whole process. But anyway, I'm really happy to be back and like building things again. I will say, after such a long break, it is so hard to get back into, you know, taking care of everything again. It really is. I also didn't mean for this video to be so long, but you know, it is what it is. No complaints. I am just glad I finished this. So with this mansion being completed, the save file will be getting uploaded with a brief tour, probably towards the end of the week. It'll probably be a shorter video, but I'll be updating like the 1.1 version of the save file, with a completed Oasis Springs coming up this week at some point. So that will be coming out at some point. I can't make any promises though, because with my current schedule, I'm just a little bit all over the place right now. So I can't even believe it's Wednesday. I hardly remember yesterday and Monday. I know on Monday I did a lot of filming, like trying to get back into the new Let's Play. I had a lot of fun with the new Let's Play, actually. It's very simple, and I don't feel as stressed to get things done. And I don't know, it was a very unique experience for me, because I'm so used to having goals and stuff in mind. Also, don't mind me. I'm like, I can't just like sit and talk and not do anything. So I recently got this little fridge specifically for my desk to hold all of my drinks for when I'm working. And so I have this little fridge desk now. I mean, desk fridge. And so I'm like stocking it because like I don't know, I'm definitely like I can't sit still for like a super long time. So if you hear rustling, that's what I'm doing. I was building this and I was thinking about how like I feel like I'm not even that far in the save file. Like we've worked so hard, but I've gotten so much done, but yet I have so much left to do. It's okay. The next world is Newcrest, but the thing with Newcrest is that I'm trying to split it into sections. So I think Newcrest will probably be finished by the time I'm done with the save file, but it's not the next world I'm going to be working on. So most of San Myshuno's done, but I do have the few like large penthouses to finish. So I'll be working on those. And then once those are finished, the world should be pretty much done. I think I definitely need to work on some of the community lots though. Community lots, as you all know, aren't my favorite, but I do need to work on those soon. Just such a like community lots are just so hard to figure out how I want to decorate without using CC, because like I have CC specifically for cafes and you know things like that, but and that helps me stick to a theme. But when I'm not like sticking to a theme, it is just so hard for me. But I don't know, that actually reminded me, I have to make sure to go through and make sure that all of the relationships and Sims in the world have descriptions before I upload it. So I will be working on that, I think, after I finish uploading this video. I'm trying really hard to make sure to put plenty of detail into the world, so sometimes I make Sims off camera, you know, for the save file, and I completely forget to write descriptions and form relationships and stuff, so I'm hoping maybe to do that tonight after I'm done finishing this video. This video is probably not going to come out until Thursday, most likely. I wanted to upload another marigold video this week, but with how long this build took for me, I don't know if that's going to happen. But also, I'm so glad that Marigold's videos are being so positively received. I'm really glad that I got some responses on the poll, so thank you so much for that. It's really going to help me move forward, and I'm glad that I get like y'all's input, and I'm like excited to go to the next episode. I do want the episodes to be a little bit shorter. In the past, my Let's Play videos, because I have so much to do, they tend to be really long. So like all of my Let's Play videos were always like, you know, 30 to 40 minutes long. I think I even have some, I don't think I have any that are close to an hour, but they're all like 30 minutes. So I want to start doing in the 20-minute range. I don't really want to breach onto the 40-minute range. I don't know. I feel like a couple of my videos have almost reached 40 minutes, and it's just a lot. So I don't know. It's kind of just up to y'all. I try to keep the videos shorter, but I don't know what really is popular. I know that I like longer videos just because I like listening to them in the background while I'm doing stuff, but I don't know, we'll see. Also, I'm so sorry about the like weird audio in the last in Marigold's video. I didn't realize until I was editing it that I forgot to balance the sound in that video. And I was listening to it and I was like, oh my goodness. The Sims are so loud. And that's because when I was playing off camera, you know, during my break away from YouTube and filming, I had my volume turned all the way up in game. Usually I'll turn my volume down in game so that it's not too overpowering, because I don't speak very loud. Like my voice isn't very loud, so I try to balance the audio out so that I can be heard. But during the first episode of A Fresh Start, I like completely forgot to do that. Also, this kitchen, I had the hardest time because, like I said, I wanted a beige. When I was filming this, I filmed them completely silent, like, because I really focus really hard and I talk to myself a lot while I'm building. It's kind of embarrassing. But while I was filming this, I was like, I want this to be a beige wonderland. Like, color doesn't exist here, you know? It's just all one color. And so I found these really nice counters from the luxury patio stuff. I think that's what it's called, like the patio stuff pack. And I loved them. And then I realized that there was no cabinets to go with it. So I went and grabbed some cabinets that I thought would be similar in color, and they weren't close enough in color, so I had to end up like deleting all of them and trying to find cabinets that went well, and I ended up just having to go with those white ones. I was really disappointed. I was really frustrated by the end of it, because I was like, oh my goodness, like I've been working so hard on this build, and like I felt kind of frustrated because I wanted it to be one consistent, you know, color, but I had to break it up a little bit. So also you'll see that like this is a completely open space when I start building it, but in the next video I do change up some stuff so that it's not just one completely open space, because I went into it and I was like, oh, this looks kind of dumb. But I didn't know what to do because I don't like my Sims rooms being excessively large. So I was like, oh, well, I don't know what to do here. Like, this is different. But I end up changing it up a little bit. Also had a lot of fun with Malcolm's room, actually. I don't get into that until I think it should be soon, but overall this whole house was such a difficult thing for me to build. Because look how open that space is. It looks ridiculous. Oh, and here's the jump cut to the next day. So this is me filming today, actually. And I started with Malcolm's room because I really needed a break. I needed color, you know. His room isn't super large or anything, but I made sure to like put everything that like a teenager would want. And initially I was gonna have him have an ensuite bathroom, but I ended up going against that because what was initially gonna be his bedroom is the room that's like behind his room. It's like a little porch area, but I ended up just turning that into a lounge area because, you know, like rich people have multiple lounges and stuff. I just turned it into another lounge area looking out to their little fountain out into the scenery. Landscaping this house was also a disaster. I had such a hard time, but I feel like I'm gonna go in and kind of adjust some of the relationships in the Landgraab family, also because I also just realized while I was building this that the windows are different colors. I'm gonna have to fix that. That looks, yeah. Sometimes I don't like notice things until post editing because I'm like watching myself build it at the same time as you, so I'm like, oh wait, I didn't do that. So I'll have to make sure to go and fix that. I did add a trash bin though, so I remembered that this time. I just did the recycling one, so I didn't put one of the big ones outside. Because it won't really be necessary when they have that recycling one that like auto breaks down all of the trash. I went with much more of a modern theme for their home also. Like versus the Goths who had like a very Victorian home. I went with more of a modern theme for them because for me, like, I've always seen the Landgraabs as like super rich but also like further along and like technology, like they embrace the modern technology rather than push it back. Because I believe they're considered new money, aren't they? I think they're considered new money, not old money like the Goths. So, but I did have a lot of fun with this room. I was making it and I was like, you know, I feel like Malcolm, like, he's kind of the way that he is, not just because he's like mean and snobby because obviously he's a Landgraab, but he was a good kid in, I think it was The Sims 2. He was a good kid in The Sims 2. I think it was Sims 2 or was it The Sims 3? I can never remember the timelines properly, but he was a good kid, and I think that with Johnny not being there anymore and like him having to be there all by himself, I feel like he definitely has started to need to be more responsible and is trying to shoulder the responsibilities that his parents are pushing on him. So I feel like he's definitely under a lot of pressure, and because of that pressure, like, it's turned him and warped him into kind of a bad person as he has gotten older. And this little corner is just like things he had as a kid and he just hasn't gotten rid of, so they're still in his room. So it's not stuff he particularly plays with, but they're things that he used to play with, but he just kind of grew out of and doesn't really see the need in having anymore, so he just put him in the corner. But I also wanted to, because they're rich, so they go on trips a lot, right? So I wanted them to have like little pieces from different worlds around the house. So I put up some paintings later from, well, they're technically from Santa City Living. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I don't remember. But from San Myshuno, there are some really pretty pieces, and I end up putting those on the wall too. And this is me just going through and adding light switches because I forgot that we have them now. I was really excited to put them in all the rooms. Also, this is like totally random, but where do rich people put their light switches? Like, they have so much space, right? So like, where do the light switches go? I don't know. It's crazy. I forgot to put a thermostat in the house also, so I have to add a thermostat too. I did add a fire detector. It's underneath the hoods, the stove hoods. This corner by the entrance is the most color you'll see in the whole house. The rest of the house is so drab and boring. But yeah, this was me looking in at the house and realizing that I really hated the way that it looked. So I ended up breaking off the dining room a little bit and just kind of trying to open it back up again, but still just like keeping it as its own separate room because I just really didn't like the fact that it was so open. I ended up putting the kitchen on a platform also. But this is when I started struggling with like decorating the walls because I wanted it to be really boring. So I was like, oh, I don't want to put anything like too colorful on the walls. So I didn't know what to do. I end up adding like a really weird accent piece to the middle. Yeah, and then just those paintings from is it City Living? You know what? I need to look this up. I'll look this up. Just gotta what is it called? City Living? It is City Living. Okay, I was right. Well, I was looking that up. I got a message. I won a raffle at work for a gift card, so that's pretty exciting. I wanted to win baseball tickets, but that's okay. I don't particularly like baseball, okay? But I do like going to the games because it's fun. And I think that it's like a enjoyable... Being at the stadium for a baseball game is a lot more interesting than watching it on TV, because there's just so much energy there and it's just so exciting. I don't know. I enjoy going to baseball games, but I don't really enjoy the sport all that much. And then here's a little platform I ended up putting the kitchen on. I just wanted it to look a little bit different than the rest of the house. Like, I just couldn't have the whole main area be flat. So I ended up lifting it up. It's still like a very empty space, like incredibly empty, but I tried. I didn't know what to do. I'm so used to building smaller homes. But I'm glad I got it done at least, I guess. Man. I did enjoy doing the bedrooms though. I really like doing Joffrey and Nancy's bedroom. Because it's just so beige. Like, it's fancy, but it's also just so tan. I wonder how many times I've said beige in this video. Probably so many times. But I just wanted to be in like incredibly tan. I don't know whose office this is, but it has to be Joffrey or Nancy's. Like, I was thinking more like Nancy's office, you know? She's like a supervillain, isn't she? I feel like she is. Like, she's a supervillain and then Joffrey's a super spy. Every time I say super spy, I think of the Backyard Again song. I almost started singing it. I won't embarrass myself too much though. Also, part of the problem with building so many circular rooms was I kept ending up with these really weird angles. There's a couple of these weird angles up in the house that are just so unpleasant to look at. I end up like cutting off some of them because they just look so dumb. I know I end up cutting off the one in here. Also, you know, I realized while I was building this, I don't know what fancy bathrooms look like. I could have looked it up. I definitely could have looked it up, but I just was like trying so hard to finish, because at this point I was feeling fatigue. I was feeling building fatigue so bad, because I was enjoying it, but I was also just tired of looking at it, because I reach a certain point when I'm building something this large that I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't do this anymore. And I was kind of reaching that point here with these bathrooms, because I was like, oh my goodness. Oh, finally, yeah, I like this room a lot. But yeah, I was definitely reaching like that building fatigue around here, and I was like, oh my goodness. I just want to be done. I didn't want to give up, you know, because I'd already worked so hard on it. But when I work on a build for that long and like multiple days, it really takes a lot of energy out of me. Like, kudos to people that can build those like super intricate, like crazy builds. I tried to do some fancy stuff with this one off camera when I was building this structure, but it just didn't work out, and I didn't have the tool mod installed, so everything ended up looking kind of not as good as I wanted it to. I was just, I was so frustrated. And then, you know, you go to do the landscaping and you're like, oh my gosh, how do I landscape? You know, panic mode. Because I'm in the middle of the desert. It's fine. It ended up being fine. I just finished this build like, I want to say half an hour ago. well, not half an hour ago, I'll say like 45 minutes to an hour ago. It's very fresh, you know. The wounds that this build gave me are very fresh. And the noggin still. But, you know what I should have done also? I probably couldn't have, just because, the house is stilted. But a little, like, underground villain area for Nancy. That would have been pretty cool. I was just so focused on finishing. Honestly, I might go in and change Nancy's job. She doesn't... I get it's supposed to be like the whole supervillain with super spy kind of storyline. What is that movie? There's a movie that was like two spies against each other with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. I don't remember what that movie was called, but that's what I thought of for some reason. But I just like don't. I imagine them being more so like business people, like CEOs, and you know, one of them works for the government and the other one works as a CEO of a company kind of vibes. They do not give me super spy and dastardly. I mean, Nancy definitely gives me like evil villain vibes because she is an evil villain, but that's besides the point. But I don't know, maybe I'll go in and change that after I'm done with this. It sounds like fun. And then add more relationships. I might, I don't know, we'll see once we get there, because I feel like I have like a limit, you know, on how long I can spend on making a Sims build. Like, and I've reached that point, you know. I've reached that limit for today. Anyway, because I started building this at maybe, I want to say noon, and then I stopped at 4, so I worked on it for 4 hours today, and then yesterday I probably spent another 3 hours on it, if not, yeah. Gosh, I didn't realize how long this build took me, actually. That's crazy. I'm so glad to be updating the save file, though. Also, if y'all ever have any Sims or anything that you want to put into the save file, just upload a Sim to hashtag TokkieSims on the gallery. For the save file, I would have them be, I would just ask that they're CC free, just because it is a save file. But if you want me to ever throw Sims into my series, feel free to make a Sim under TokkieSims also, and I'll try to throw them into whatever series we're doing. Maybe just throw in what series you want them to go into, and I'll try to toss them in. I know once I start up on the Legacy Challenge again, which I'm waiting until the Generations pack comes out to start playing that one again, we'll have a lot more freedom in romance. Not right away, because the next generation is our witch generation, like witch or wizard generation. I think, yeah, witch. She's gonna be a witch. And that generation, she doesn't find love for a long time, because her whole character is supposed to be like super obsessed with becoming the most powerful witch. So romance won't be a huge thing. When I played the Legacy Challenge on my own, my Sim Oak, she became a really powerful wizard and ended up marrying her husband. I think his name was Time, so I had Oak and Time, and the two of them ended up getting married after she became super powerful. And they had a set of twins, and I ended up playing as their boy sim. And then once I left the house, they just kept having kids because they're both immortal. So they just kept having kids. And so every time I went to go look at Oak and Time, they had like another child. It was crazy. They ended up growing the family so large. And I just remember one thing that I did a lot was a lot of like family get-togethers. Like that's a very important thing for this legacy challenge is family get-togethers. There's so many Sims. So many Sims. Every single like Christmas and holiday. It was fun. It was fun. I miss those Sims a lot. I think about them pretty often actually. Oh, I love this area. This little pond area. It's not a pond. It's a fountain, technically. I couldn't figure out what the word was, but I like that area a lot. And the little lounge that I built off of it. I didn't know what to do for the outdoor pool. I kept it pretty simple. I should have added a grill, but I can't imagine them grilling. I feel like they don't do a lot of family activities like that. I feel like they have someone that cooks for them, you know? So I didn't really feel the need to add a lot of flavor to the kitchen or add a grill or anything because I can't really see them doing that. But now I'm working on the landscaping. I honestly did not know what to do here. I had no idea, but I got it done. I got it done, at the very least. Oh my goodness. But that being said, this build is complete, and with it being complete, I can now upload the next little patch of our save file onto the channel. I'll be uploading it. I'll try to finish working on it tonight and then upload it tomorrow. No, probably Friday because this video is gonna go up tomorrow. So I'll upload the save file hopefully on Friday, depending on my school schedule. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble if you've made it this far. I always talk so much in these videos, I completely lose track of time. But thank you so much for watching, and if you like the video, please leave a like, that'd be awesome. And if you'd like to stick around and keep watching me build and play the game, I'd love it if you subscribed and joined us. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!